Star Trek Discovery may be going on a break, but that doesn't mean we don't have more content to break down for when the second half of Season 4 returns. Let's look at this brand new trailer. Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host Captain Jack, and let's get straight into it. Season 4 of Star Trek Discovery has had a great first half, but unfortunately it's now on hiatus until the 10th of February, where its remaining half will air. The mid-season final, But to Connect, gave us some galactic debate on what to do about the DMA, and a shocking betrayal of a cliffhanger. But luckily we aren't left completely on the cliff, with a mid-season trailer giving us a little tease about what we might expect going forward. Please be aware we'll be talking about spoilers for the first half of Star Trek Discovery Season 4, and of course exploring what might happen, and of course exploring what's going to happen in the second half of Season 4. You have been warned. If you do want to keep up to date on all related Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Star Trek universe. As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if you're talking about Star Trek, then we want to hear about it. Okay? Engage. Starting off with the first half ended, Book and Targ have gone rogue, stealing the next generation spore drive and installing it into Book's ship in order to get away, and eventually enact their plan to destroy the DMA using an isolytic weapon. Though, from what Tarka says, he doesn't actually have the weapon yet, which kinda makes sense. It'd be hard to have a banned weapon already made, though I wouldn't put it past Tarka at the same time. We see the dynamic duo jump to a planet, walk in the countryside, some other alien locals, astrofields, and hives of scum and villainy. You can see what we did there. But Discovery seems to be put on the mission to hunt down Book and Tarka, as the only other vessel can really follow them with the new spore drive, though Captain Burnham does definitely question whether she should track them down, considering her history with Book. But the old Sue as her XO helps us see that she may be the only one who can actually bring Book back to the good side, or rather should I say, light side. Too many Star Wars connections here. We get some great shots of the Discovery crew, and it seems like we'll be getting some more time with other people on the bridge crew. We see Culber, Detmer, Burnham, and Sue all donned in away mission uniforms, which still look amazing by the way, so I'll look forward to whatever episode that's about. The away team is later seen in EVA suits, which is a very interesting environment. With the EVA suits you can tell it isn't breathable, and seems very swamp-like, with floating mushroom-like organisms. Perhaps this is the planet of the 10C, whoever made the DMA. As a sci-fi fan, mainly of the Halo game universe, this environment reminds me so much of the Flood. The Flood species were parasitic organisms that reproduced by consuming sentient life forms of sufficient biomass and cognitive ability. Hopefully this isn't like Species 10C, also going to get some freaky Star Trek content coming up. Look, I'm a Halo fan, I couldn't miss the opportunity to talk about this, okay? We get the Discovery going outside of Federation space, which is something which I know some fans have been critical about now or in the future, but we're basically only dealing with the inside of Federation space, and they'll be going into territory where they don't have any jurisdiction and have to find other ways to solve problems than they're used to. Hopefully this means we're going to get some other quadrants as well, which would help with world building in the 32nd century. Let's just hope they don't get stuck in the Delta Quadrant. We're seemingly going to get an away mission in Versecuron, and Burnham, which is amazing, as they're in what looks to be a very seedy place. Burnham seems to be gambling and always seems to be getting into a fight in a ring. Maybe both reasons to gather some money in this place to get information. If anything, it's good that our bridge crew are getting more screen time this season. At the gambling table Burnham goes to, it seems that Book has also been there before, so Burnham is definitely on his trail, and we'll find out where he's gone to bring him back from doing something disastrous. But we do let us see Burnham and Book reunited in this place with Versecuron, so this might be what happens as anyone's guess really. We do also see what looks like to be a new alien here, but bears with remarkable similarities to Star Trek Beyond's aliens. We've been getting some Beyond prosthetics in Discovery Season 4, most likely with Shelm. Yes, he is called Shelm, if I pronounce that even correctly or remotely correct. Okay, Commander Narn is back. She went back to Barzan during Season 3 of Discovery, and it seems she's back in Starfleet now. She's in a security officer uniform, which I do really like. These uniforms remind me of the Relativity uniform seen in the 29th century in Star Trek Voyager, and we have seen these uniforms before in the 32nd century on Lieutenant Audrey Willer, head of Starfleet Headquarters Security. With Narn returning, and in security officer uniform, she could be returning as the Chief of Security aboard the Discovery, but it's definitely an interesting decision for the second half of the season. Or maybe the Barzans have found something out and they're sending Narn as a representative. Considering that the TNG episode with the Barzans had a wormhole, they could know a lot more about wormholes and have actually found something interesting out about the DMA, possibly where it's connected to. Narn also has new breathing apparatus on her, which are much more discreet with two devices near her ears, compared to the actual tubes that extend to her mouth she wore in the 23rd century. In a very interesting scene of this teaser trailer shot, General Lloyd of the United Earth Defense Force, President Torino of Navarre, Captains Saru and Burnham, and President Rillick of the United Federation of Planets, as well as an unknown Starfleet officer, are walking through a shuttle bay. This doesn't tell us much, but having many of the main representatives of the Federation here could lead us to think this might be a meeting of the 10C. We also believe that the unknown lone Starfleet officer is wearing the old 32nd century uniform, which is still in use of Federation HQ, so he could be an aide to Admiral Vance. We also think this man is played by Hiro Kanagawa, an actor who's previously played a Yakuza boss in The Man in the High Castle. This actually makes even more sense because Lara Rillick's actor, Sheila Horsdale, was also in that show. So with both productions being based in Canada, as well as Tarka's character being in The Expanse, we're seeing a lot of crossovers between Canadian actors. It makes total sense. We get a later shot of the USS Discovery bridge, with presence Tarina and Rillick as well as Captain Saru and Burnham. This is perfectly normal, but in the center of the bridge is some kind of projector-looking device. I have no idea what it might be, but it is projecting light in the direction of the characters we're looking at. Maybe devices in the center of the bridge helps them get through the DMA safely to initiate first contact with whoever is on the other side. Saru does say,
"Something is coming. A life form."
With the two presidents wearing the same outfit, we can assume this scene is in the same episode as the walking scene. This might be the shuttle bay of the USS Discovery, even though it does look different than what the shuttle bay looks like in episode 7 of the show. The ship was still being repaired, so the shuttle bay might get an upgrade when Discovery is sent out on a mission to hunt down Book and Tarka. What is fascinating about the shuttle bay, and this scene in particular, is what we've seen before. Back in November, the Paramount Plus YouTube account posted a video about the AR wall Discovery used to film. They showed us a shuttle bay environment during Red Alert. The most fascinating is that it showed us a piece of storyboard art for this exact episode, on screen now. The storyboard shows us 6 figures, which has to be the 6 figures walking in a shuttle bay scene, looking out of the Discovery shuttle bay doors to what looks like the DMA itself, and something in the middle of a wormhole. You can also see Zora present as well, so we know what the group is shocked at in this scene. But I do have to say, looking at the storyboard makes the DMA look more like an eye, and it could be a hint of what this could be. This could just be a probe of some extragalactic species looking into our galaxy, seeing what's behind this basically impenetrable barrier. It's basically a massive version of a Pathfinder project from Voyager, creating an artificial wormhole to make contact with those on the other side. Though with it being a probe, and it basically looking into our galaxy, therefore being a massive metaphorical eye, which is represented by the look of the DMA. This could further be on the nose by the fact that the DMA blinked out of existence in the previous episode. If the DMA is a probe, and simply unaware or uncaring about the damage it's doing, we have to wonder the purpose of it. What's it searching for, or who? Obviously this is a theory and not concrete information, but it's interesting to postulate on what might actually happen in the show going forward. This shuttle bay has the new 32nd century worker bees and shuttlecraft as well, so it seems like Discovery has done away with a classic C-class shuttlecraft from the 2250s. This however does raise an interesting point about Calypso, the Star Trek short trek, as the were class C shuttlecraft on that refit of Discovery, with its original shuttle bay. So we're leaving more towards the Discovery and Calypso in an alternate timeline where the Discovery is left in the nebula rather than being sent to the future. How this may tie back into the main timeline is interesting, but with talking about other universes, maybe it could connect there. Calypso has also been fascinating discussions of connectivity for Trek, and even if we'll miss those discussions, it'd be great to find out how it links into the overall story of the Star Trek universe. Commander Jet Reno is seen again, which is always great to see her, and looks to be on Book's ship due to the wood-paneled walls, and talking to someone in a leather jacket, which could be Book. Book will eventually come back to Starfleet's side, so Jet could be working on to fix his ship. Maybe Tarka sabotage it, knowing Book may change his mind and go against him. Another Navarre ship is seen, so it probably is the NSS T'Pau, since it was the Navarre ship seemingly interesting to monitor DMA. Maybe this ship will have some interactions with Book ship or something along those lines. I just hope we do get either some action scenes or just some nice scenes of this Navarre ship, so Eaglemoss can hopefully make a model out of it in the future, and I can put it on the shelf. The Navarre ships in season 3 of the show were just there and very blurry in the background, so it's nice to see a much better shot of a ship, and we can always wish for more at the end of the day. We see Admiral Vance with Tilly at Federation HQ as flames are sprouting everywhere. Obviously the 32nd century HQ has moved from having rocks fall down from the ceiling when they're under attack to simply having a lot of fire going on, which is an interesting decision indeed. Both the Admiral and Tilly seem to be holding hip flasks, maybe having a drink related to recent developments in regards to Starfleet Academy, since we know that Tilly's in that area now. This is definitely an off-duty moment, since Vance does have his uniform slightly unbuttoned, so it's definitely weren't expecting something to be attacking Federation HQ, or it's one of those intense moments, you know, where Starfleet officers' jackets come undone. We're looking at you, Picard. Whether this is the DMA attacking Federation HQ, which would be a cool scene, as we're going to be seeing the defenses of the HQ, and whether they have defenses on the starbase against such a gravimetric force, or maybe a direct attack from Species 10C maybe. I guess we'll have to wait and find out more. Finally, we end this breakdown on Kovich, the most elusive man in the 32nd century that we know of. He says, whatever we think we know about Species 10C, we're wrong. Which definitely hints at some interesting developments about the species going into future episodes. There's maybe some simple hyperbolic talk to increase the drama, as I'm sure it won't be a complete 180 in what we already know about them. But they have a power to create the DMA, and they're possibly extragalactic. but just that our preconceived notions of what these species are is incorrect. We've had some great Kovic scenes during the season, so I'm really looking forward to whatever other scenes we get of him during a season, and perhaps it'll tell us more about his character. Okay, that's our breakdown and analysis of the mid-season trailer for Star Trek Discovery Season 4. It promised to be an exciting second half of the season, so let's hope it shows us some more Final Frontiers and manage to stick the landing rather than Season 3. We do know these episodes are still currently being edited, so that would explain the mid-season break, but at least we get some more Trek while we're at it, with Star Trek Prodigy currently airing. As I mentioned, Discovery Season 4 will return on February 10th for its second half, and while we do wait, Star Trek Prodigy will be returning to us, so expect some future video content to centre around that from reviews, theories, and more. But what did you think about the trailer? What are you most excited for in the second half of Discovery Season 4? Book and Target going rogue? More Kovic? Jet or Tilly? Let us know in the comment section below. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Star Trek news, lore, and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends.